Hey YouTube, this is Jake with the Garb Roaders, and in this video we're profiling my Volcanion EX deck. It's pretty simple and straightforward, but I do run a weird Pokemon with it, which you'll see. And to start our things off, we have 3 Baby Volcanion with Power Heater, 20 damage for 1 fire, and attach 2 basic fire energy from your discard pile to 2 of your bench Pokemon. That's the main attack you're going to be using in this deck. And next up we have 4 copies of Volcanion EX. For its ability Steam Up, once during your turn you can discard a fire energy from your hand, and if you do, your basic fire Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage this turn. And if you have multiple Volcanion EX out at the same time, you can use multiple Steam Ups a turn to do that 30 damage. Now we have 1 copy of Flareon EX for its ability Flash Fire and Blaze Ball. Blaze Ball, it's just a one-of tech. You do a lot of damage if you have a lot of fire energies. Pretty simple. Now we have 2 Staryu, which it's only good for when you evolve it into its evolution Starmie, which you're about to see right here. Its ability Space Beacon, once during your turn you can discard any card from your hand, and if you do, get 2 basic energy from your discard pile back into your hand. So you can Steam Up, and then Space Beacon, get the energies back, and then Steam Up with your other Volcanions. Or if you don't want to have to put the energies on with Baby Volcanions attacks, you can just have them in your hand. And we run 2 Shaman, just for the ability setup. When you bench it, draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. Pretty straightforward with that card. It's pretty much a 2 of at least in every single deck. And our last Pokemon is 1 Hoopa EX. When you play it from your hand to your bench, search your deck for 3 EX Pokemon and put them in your hand. And shuffle your deck afterwards. Now we're going to move on to our trainers. We have 3 copies of Professor Sycamore. I don't like to run 4. I just find it a little too clunky. I'd rather run like N's and things like that. And we have 2 copies of N. Shuffle your hand into your deck, and each player draws a card for each of their prize cards left. So if we both have 6 at the beginning of the game, then we both get 6 cards. Next, we have our 1 of supporters. We have 1 Lysander, 1 Skyla, 1 Brock's Grit, and 1 Pokemon Ranger. And they all have varying effects. You can look them up because I'm doing a voiceover, so I don't go over them very thoroughly. But they all have their reasons for being in the deck. Next, we have 4 copies of VS Seeker. I am never willing to run less than 4 VS Seeker in a deck, unless it's like Vileplume, then maybe there's an exception, but I find it very important to run 4. And we have 3 Trainer's Mail. I always find myself running 3 Trainer's Mail, but I would always like to run 4. But 3 Trainer's Mail is fine enough. Next, we have 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Discard 2 cards from your hand and search your deck for any Pokemon and put it in your hand. It's really helpful to just get out Shamans and Hoopas at the beginning of the game. So that's why I play 4. That way you can just almost for sure get out your Pokemon at the beginning of the game. Next up, we have 3 copies of Max Elixir. Look at the top 6 cards of your deck, and if you find a basic energy there, attach it to one of your benched basic Pokemon. Since this deck runs all basics other than Starmie, and you run a lot of energies, which you'll see later, it's a very high chance of setting it up. We run 2 Scorched Earth. Normally I would run 3 or 4, but because of the next card you're about to see, I only run 2. Scorched Earth is pretty much always run in Volcanion decks. And our next card for the deck is 2 Skyfield. Each player can have up to 8 benched Pokemon. So that's why I run Hoopa, and that's why I run Scorched Earth, so I can play everything I want to, and then switch to Scorched Earth after my bench is full, and get rid of like my Shamans and Hoopas, things I don't want Lysandered out. And now I have 3 copies of Fighting Fury Bolts. Like I said, I play almost all basics, so Fighting Fury Bolt does perfect. I get an extra 40 HP and do 10 extra damage for my Pokemon with Fighting Fury Bolt on it. Next, I run 2 copies of Floatstone. I would run 3, just seems like there's not enough space in the deck, but 2 seems to do me okay. Now I run 2 Professor's Letter in this deck. Search your deck for 2 basic energy, so I can just search them, put them in my hand, steam up, and then Space Beacon, steam up even more. And now our energy count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 basic fire energy. Eventually I'll probably up it to 12, but for now, 11 seems like it does the job. And now here's just an overview of everything. The sky field has a little bit of like glare on it. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, this is just an overview of everything in the deck. It's a pretty straightforward deck, similar to some other Volcanion builds, but this particular one is my own, and I'm very proud of it. If you guys have any comments or want to tell me some things that I should change with it, I'm glad to hear them. Put them in the comment section below. But for now, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later.